All right. I've mostly been on Twitter, but the biggest thing that I want to emphasize tonight is that people really need to try and refocus themselves. I'm seeing a whole lot of battles, and it's like I can't say that I'm not involved in anything, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep some calm. Um, a lot of us have really big, or at least a sizable number of us, have super big battles going on at home, okay, in our own lives, in our own personal circles. And then we're also, as activists, pushing to change the status quo, pushing for better. And, I think for the people who follow the channel, they know I don't really try and put up a front. I don't know that it's not that I'm not capable of doing it, it's just that I don't see a point. And I also hate when other people try it and, put on the quote unquote happy face. And it drives me loopy, so I don't like to put on that or even attempt it. Things are really difficult for my husband and I right now. But things are really difficult overall in the world, and I know, and I'm not even going to try and say, oh, I have it the worst. No. I'm not even going to, no. There are definitely people that are worse off than my husband and I. In this area, that in terms of when you combine the finances and the physical health, there are that are non-institutionalized, as in not nursing homes or something. Get to that, it doesn't get much worse in terms of severe, but I call it the fact that we're the most poverty-ridden down about as you can get, and still very much yet capable of rising up with, a modicum of resources. So, I mentioned this, and I'm a big proponent of UBI, Universal Basic Income. That would, if we're in one of those setups where that would be enough to allow us to both work. If we're set with cost of living supplements, regional cost of living supplements. Problem is that we're not there. My Social Security is not enough to handle two people, even with the quote unquote needs based programs in effect. It's not enough. So, $228 a month for two people to eat. It just, especially when you have opposite dietary requirements of both adults, it just can't work. You just can't. Especially when you loop on the fact that I have orthopedic issues. So I can't, and I don't, and we don't have a dishwasher, and we don't have food processor, or most other kinds of electronics that would otherwise aid us in food prep, and therefore, the concept of quote unquote making things from scratch, no, can't really do that. We do the best we can, but again, between disabilities and poverty, again, we're hanging on. Then in the world, at the very least, an account that I followed is gone in terms of on Twitter. Beyond that, I'm not sure, and I don't know that I actually need to know. It's complex. There's a lot of people fighting and sparring over it. Again, my thing is, at the end of it all, is that at the very least, this entity or entities were anonymous. I'll remember what I saw. I'll remember it in full, but I'm glad for the lessons in that account. And I'm going to start to get back to research. We'll see some of that tomorrow. That's kind of got to be my focus in terms of activism, is looking up all of the money corruption that I can with my limited resources, which is basically a smartphone with one corner of the screen cracked. Again, doing the best I can. My mind works quite well. My heart is here as well. And I love to dig into the data. And at least for the next week or so, maybe 2 weeks, we'll be okay for food. Because I decided that in terms of way to balance things, that food had to be the priority. So I made it one this for at least now. Gotta keep moving, folks. We've got to get priorities, and we've got to make them. And yes, for those of us that are in the activist sphere, that means research, that means writing, that means, posting videos, that means at least trying to show leadership. I mean, trying to have some degree of calm, or at least when you slip and you fall into the abyss, that you pull yourself back up. I've recently even, one or two people that I unblocked them because I realized, after months, I'm like, this is nuts. So I just, I stopped. And there might be more people that I might do that with. But again, things change. We have to step up. We have to try and break out. And I might actually be starting to as well use mute function more on Twitter. And, because at the end of it all, as fewer people as there are that are in any way, shape, or form listening, I want to try and reach out more to them, both on Twitter, and I'm going to start to reach out more on Gab. Might as well get a full-on account on Maestro. Well, not Maestro, Mastodon. But again, I don't know. I haven't even been that active on MeWe lately. So, but again, I'm going to keep as many presences as I can. I am accessible here via YouTube. I'm also going to probably post this on VidMe. Because I am an activist, and I do believe that I have a pretty unique set of viewpoints and knowledge bases. And again, I don't quit. With the way things have gone wrong and the number of them, it's a little bit suspicious. Someone might have tried to hurt us. I don't know, though. Not really sure. I do know, though, that even if it was just quote-unquote accidents or errors, that if it really was just that then there are people that are out there that can fix those accidents or errors and actually get them done. It's just I'm not the person that can actually fix them. So this is going to be tricky. But again, I'm open on all channels. You could find me. Malka Beth Wendy is pretty well my handle everywhere. MALKABETHWENDY. And again, I'm open. Tough road. But again, I don't quit for anything. Shalom.